Hi everyone, and welcome to episode 34 of the Little Home podcast. My name's Bex. I'm coming to you from the countryside just outside of Melbourne in Australia. It's wonderful to be here. This is my, I think, fourth attempt at trying to record and upload episode 34. I've been trying for the past 2 months and I've been having major technical issues with my laptop. So I have no idea if this is going to work, but I'm going to give it a go anyway because I thoroughly miss chatting to you guys, and I have been doing so much knitting and designing that I just want to share. So it makes me really sad that it's been so long since we've chatted. There's a lot to catch up with you guys on, so I'm just going to start and hope for the best. I've got quite a lot of knitting to share with you. I've also got some sewing projects that I want to show you guys as well because I'm really happy with them. So this might be a little bit more of a PC episode just because I am going to be checking that this is recording throughout. So one of the things that I've been having an issue with is that the audio is out of sync. So everything looks great until you look at the 20-minute long video clip and realise that it is completely out of sync. So it may be a little bit more PC. I usually do like to kind of not edit too much, but there might be a few little gaps just as I'm checking to see if this is working. You can find me on Instagram. I've got 3 Instagram accounts. Bex in Real Life is my personal account. I'll have them all written down below. I have a design account, which is the Little Home Designs, and then I have a tiny house account, which is the littlehome.oz. I'm actually recording this from our tiny house, which we are currently sleeping in and have been since our summer solstice, which was the 22nd of December. So yeah, it's beautiful to be in here. Let's see if I can show you. It's not completely finished, but I'm in here. And it's very, very beautiful. So we don't have a kitchen, we don't have running water, so we're just sleeping in here at the moment. But it's such a beautiful space. We're going to be starting construction again soon. We've probably got another few weeks of construction to go. Just finishing off the bathroom and everything. But just having been in here for the last month now, pretty much exactly, it gets me so excited about being able to cook in here and have a shower and yeah, properly move in. So that's very exciting. Okay, so finished objects. I'm going to start with the knitted ones. I've recently just launched a new design, which I'm really happy to share with you guys. It's one that you might have seen in a few incarnations over the past few episodes. This is the Feathers and Bones socks. It's a fingering weight sock design with a heel flap and gusset, and it's a mixture of rib and this really intuitive lace panel on the front. I'm so happy with how these came out. I think they're probably my most favourite fit. I love how rib socks fit. And how kind of elastic they are. They always seem to just spring back so well and not stretch out so much. So I'm very, very excited about having this design out and available for sale. It's now available for sale on Ravelry. It is $6 Australian, which I think is maybe $4 or $5 US. I'm not 100% sure on that. The yarn that I used is this beautiful, beautiful, very slightly variegated kind of speckled yarn by Farmhouse Fibres, who's a wonderful indie dyer here in Victorian Australia. She lives not too far away from me, and her colour choices and her bases are just gorgeous. This is her Grounded Twist, I think it's called, which is a BFL nylon blend, 80% Blue Face Leicester, 20% nylon, and this is her Cabin Fever colourway, which is it's kind of almost like a grey-purple base with little sections of yellow and green and plum. It is so beautiful. So Farmhouse Fibres offered yarn support for this design, and I couldn't be more happy with this choice. It just knits up beautifully and creates a really sturdy kind of proper sock yarn. There's something about merino socks which are so lovely and they're so soft, but this one feels really sturdy and kind of grippy and toothy, which I love, which is the Blue-Faced Leicester. This is a superwash yarn, so they can be popped in the machine, but I tend to hand wash my socks anyway. So yes, there's a reinforced heel, and then the gusset as well. So if you would like to try out this pattern, it is available on Ravelry. I love it. The lace is very, very easy to remember and intuitive. I didn't have to look at the lace notes at all throughout knitting these after the first couple of attempts, which is something I really love about my sock designs, is I'm very careful with the lace that I choose to be as intuitive as possible, so they almost become like a vanilla sock. I generally try and stick to very repetitive lace that you can remember after a few repeats. It's just what I prefer in a sock design. So yeah, I'm very, very happy with these. I love them. I have also finished some other little knitting projects as well, which I will share with you now. So my other few finished objects of the knitted variety are little baby knits, and I knit these for my dear friend Melody, who is currently expecting, so they're going to be flying off to France very shortly. I had 50 grams of the Verb for Keeping Warm Pioneer, which is a very rustic, it was quite scratchy actually, very natural organic merino, which is from California. It looks like it's a single origin yarn, which is great. I just had 50 grams of this, and it's a DK weight, so I didn't know what I was going to do with it. I was thinking maybe some very, very short mitts or something, but I decided to just have a little play and create, it's kind of just a very, very simple design. I won't be putting this up just yet. I would like to have a little bit more of a play with the design before I put it on Ravelry, but yeah, this is like a prototype, is what I'm trying to say. It's a little bonnet. This is around about a 3 to 6 month age. It has some garter stitch on the base here and on the front, little I-cord ties, and a little decrease just at the front here, which is a little tiny bit pointy, which is something that I'd like to work out. But yeah, I'm so happy with how this came out. It actually blocked out so beautifully. It's incredibly soft now. It really bloomed when it blocked. Sorry about the light. It's very bright outside. It's supposed to be, I think it's supposed to get to 39 degrees Celsius today, so we are very much in the middle of summer. I knit this, and then I knit a little pair of baby socks. Very simple. They're just ribbed on the top and then folded down. Super simple little baby socks of around about a 3 to 6 month size, and I got all of this out of 50 grams of Verb for Keeping Warm Pioneer, which is amazing. So that is for the little bean. I also had one skein of this Millpost Merino, which is a it's a super fine permaculture grown Australian merino. in their natural colour, which is this guy here. So I made another one. This time I was trying with an I-cord, a little I-cord edging on the bottom instead of the garter stitch, which I think worked really well as well. This is slightly smaller, so it's around about a 0 to 3 month size, little I-cord, super cute, cannot handle. Yeah, and then these little guys, boop. Same, just very slightly smaller. So these will be swanning off to Melody very shortly to warm her little bubbas, her future bubbas' heads and toes. And yeah, I couldn't be more excited. I love knitting baby knits. It's great. And yes, so since we last spoke, I've also been doing a fair chunk of sewing. It's been a few weeks now, and there are a few projects that are multiple, so I'm just going to show you one of each. But I have made 2 Hadley tops, which is a pattern by Grainline Studio. I'm afraid it's linen and it's very crumpled, but you'll get a general idea. There's some photos on my Bex in Real Life Instagram account that you can see as well. But it's this gorgeous, that's so crumpled, the joys of linen. It's this gorgeous kind of A-line drop hem top. It's got a very low V-neck, and it's got seams at the front and at the back, which I think you can see there. And I love my little me-made labels. They're from Kylie and the Machine, and I picked them up at the Maker store. Yes, so as I said, it's got facings throughout on the underarms, the back, and also on the hem as well. This was, going off of the finished measurements, I did a sewed a size 8, which is a US sizing, and it came out really big. So in my second version, which was a creamy, thicker linen, I decided to go down 2 sizes. This is still very much wearable. There's probably just a good couple of inches, maybe 3 inches of ease at the bust, which wasn't necessary. So I went down to a US 6 for the cream one, and it fits perfectly. So I definitely want to make another version of this again soon. I'm considering gifting this one to my mum, maybe for her birthday. I've only worn it once, and it would fit her, I think, a lot better than it would fit me, so I'm considering that I might do that. But yeah, it's very beautiful. I think if I do gift this one, I'll need to make another one because it's this gorgeous kind of mustardy tan colour. It's coming up a lot browner on screen than it is in real life, but it's kind of got this almost gold tinge to it. It's a very beautiful pattern. I highly recommend it. It's a really good wardrobe staple. Not so much a tucking in kind of top, but yeah, it's really great with jeans. The other pattern that I've made, I think 3 pairs of now, is the Esther shorts, which is a pattern by Tessuti Fabrics. Again, these have been worn and they are rumpled, so apologies. This is linen as well. I basically just want to have a wardrobe made out of linen, and luckily I don't care if my linen gets rumpled. I'm not that much of a fussy pot that I worry about that, which I know would piss off quite a few people, but it doesn't bother me. So this is a black pair of Esther shorts. I have a cream pair, and I also have a mustard pair in this fabric, with my little Kylie and the Machine label as well. This is a wonderful, wonderful pattern. I would say that I took probably about 5 inches off of the length of the leg, and I angled the cut as well. Very slightly, so it's longer at the crotch and shorter at the edge of the thigh. and that creates a really wonderful pair of, I would say, more modern kind of sailor-esque shorts. They have a dart at the back of the bum, and they don't have any pockets on this. But yes, they are very high-waisted and they're very flattering. I love this pattern, so I imagine I'll be making very many more of those as well. So I think that's all of my finished objects that I can remember anyway since we last chatted. It has been a couple of months. But I am knitting on quite a few things at the moment, so I'll share with you some works in progress. The first one, I actually finished a Tegna, which is a pattern by Caitlin Hunter. And it's a short sleeve top. And mine came out really big. It blocked out massive, and I just didn't like where the sleeves came to, and I didn't have enough yarn to do full length sleeves. So I ended up ripping it back, rescaling the yarn, washing it, and making it less crinkly, and that is this. It's a really beautiful merino yarn by Kokon, I think, which is a South African company. It's a very, very plump, supposedly it's fingering weight, but I would say it was more of a sport weight yarn. It's 300 meters per 100 grams, and you can see how high twist it is. It's amazing. It's so springy. So I cast on my favorite pattern, it seems, which is the same as this sweater here, which I wear all the time. It's the Smaragd cardigan pattern by Tweedy Sheep, who's Svetlana Volkova, I think she's called. And this is how far I've got to. So I finished the yoke, separated for the sleeves, and I'm now just working down the body, which is going to be relatively cropped just to the hip bone. With this pattern I do a few changes. So it's actually a cardigan pattern. I make it into a sweater by removing the 7 stitches which are a built-in button band, and just working in the round, which is super easy because this lace design just asks you to knit the alternate rows. So that's one thing I've changed. The other thing that I do with this is to create a less figure hugging garment. I've actually do somewhere between a medium and a large. I have detailed notes on this project on my Ravelry, which is Rebecca SJS, so you can check that out. But I basically do the whole chart. So for a medium you should stop at row 37, I think, and I actually go through to row 41, which means that I end up with 26 or 28 more stitches than the medium size calls for. I then separate those stitches out, so the majority of the extra stitches are on the body, and this just creates a less figure hugging fit, I guess, which I really love about this, which makes it quite wide, but fit really beautifully over dresses as well as jeans. It's not so kind of skin tight that it bunches up dresses. This is a handmade dress that I made a while ago now, and as you can see it's a kind of princess seam, and then it has gathers, and so these sweaters are just perfect for wearing over dresses like this. So that's a bit of a mindless knit. I'm on very much Stockinette Island. I love the fabric that this yarn is creating. It's really beautiful. I've got 3 skeins of this yarn. So 900 meters, and yeah, pretty excited. It's going to be 3/4 length sleeve and 2 around about the hip bone, and I have a feeling it's going to block out beautifully. So this will be a great wardrobe staple. I don't have any cream coloured anything in my wardrobe, so and I'm very into my neutrals at the moment, so I think this will be beautiful. In fact, I think it would be beautiful with this outfit, which is always a good start. The next work in progress is a relatively new cast on. It's the Magnolia sweater. I'm blanking on the designer's name right now. I'll write it down at the bottom of the screen. It's, as I said, it's quite a new cast on. I'm just working, I've done the neckline and I've just finished off the short row shaping at the back of the neck, and I'm working down the yoke at the moment. It's got this really wonderful squishy twisted rib neckline, and I'm using this beautiful 4-ply, it's from Tandy, which is a local yarn producer, small scale farm, and it's a Polwarth, and it's an Australian Polwarth yarn in its natural colour. Whoop, there we go. They come in 3 colours, so this kind of grey brown colour, a white, and then a dark brown, I think. And it's just heavenly. It's like a beautiful mix of like Gotland and merino, I would say. I would call it merino soft, but it's slightly more toothy, which I love. It's a really beautiful fibre. So yes, I have a lot of this. So I'm going to do a full length long sleeve pullover. The yarn is actually a lot smaller gauge than the pattern calls for. So thanks to my amazing friend Em, I did some maths, and I'm actually doing like the 3XL to get the correct stitch count at the bust. So, which is quite funny. I'm usually a medium, so doing the 3XL feels a bit scary, but the pattern calls for a fingering weight yarn with a 4mm needle and a mohair combined, and because I don't have much money at the moment, I didn't want to purchase more yarn, so I'm using this, which has got a beautiful halo to it anyway, as you can see at the top there, but is a 4-ply on its own, and I'm actually using 3.5mm needles, so there was a lot of maths that needed doing, but I think hopefully it should work out great. I'm a 36 bust, and I think this will work out at around about a 37.5 bust, fingers crossed. So I'm really excited about this. It's a beautiful yarn to work with, and it's currently living in this awesome little red and leopard print project bag that you will have seen many times before. I love this one. So the next whip is really just a gauge swatch, but I wanted to share it with you anyway. It's in this lovely Verb for Keeping Warm project bag, and I picked up 3 skeins of this gorgeous yarn from Maker Store in Brunswick, which is Great Ocean Rose Woolen Mill, and it's their Labella Salt and Pepper fingering weight yarn. So it's a merino and alpaca blend, 400 meters, 100 grams, and it's this gorgeous natural mild colour. It's just so beautiful. So I picked this up for, it's a new Libby Johnson pattern called Rebel. My friend Emily has just, she's still working on it, she's almost finished it. Finished a really beautiful version of it in a Ren and Ollie, really colourful, variegated, and I wanted to do one which was a bit more Bex and more neutral. So I have just been swatching for it, and I had to share this with you because it's just heavenly. I don't know if you can see that drape, but it's so beautiful. And I actually really love the reverse side, the reverse stockinette side as well. So I think I might like to design something reverse stockinette in this yarn at some point. So I'll be casting on for this as soon as one of my other projects has been finished, because I don't want to have 3 garments on the needle at the same time. So I'm being very self-restrained. I know you're very proud of me. And that is just living in there for now, and I keep on thinking about it every day. And the final work in progress I cast on yesterday. It's a design that I have known I was going to make for quite a while. It's been in my little designing sketchbook for a while now. I picked up 2 skeins of Brooklyn Tweed Loft, which is their fingering weight yarn in the postcard colourway. I picked this up at Loop London when I was there with Melody back in October. And this, I've always wanted to try Brooklyn Tweed. It's the first time I've ever tried it. It's a Targhee Columbia wool blend. Very lofty, as the name would describe, in this beautiful colour, which I love so much. It's like a bluey grey base with really strong flecks of like pillar box red and green and blue in there. It's so beautiful. So it comes out almost kind of heathery purpley tone, but when you get up close it's quite grey, cool grey with red undertones. So I am knitting up this design. It's in the same stitch pattern as my socks that I've just recently released, and it's going to be a one skein, throwing my yarn around, it's going to be a one skein loft, which is a 50 gram project, which will be rather big, I think, which I'm really hoping for. I'm doing it on a 3.75mm needle, so it's really open. I keep on wanting to say the word lofty, it just is. The name is exactly what it is. It's a really lofty fabric that it creates. It behaves almost like a sport weight yarn. It's very light, very lofty. There's 275 yards on here. So I think that this pattern would work well with a sport weight yarn as well. But as I said, this is just 50 grams. This beautiful yarn. And I can't wait, I'm so in love with this. I'm also designing another accessory to go alongside this. So yeah, and this pattern is just so intuitive. It's a nice way of actually seeing the design of the socks up close actually. There's a few differences, but it's pretty similar. So yeah, I'm really, really happy with how this is turning out. It's so beautiful. I can't wait to wear this once it's not ridiculously hot outside. So yeah, I'm actually a really big fan of cowls. I love that they're so comfortable and they just sit and don't get in the way. I really like one skein cowls as well. I've designed one in the past. Can you hear the kookaburras? Kookaburras laughing. I imagine not every one of you has heard a kookaburra before, so yeah, that is what I'm working on. And I think that's everything. I'm sure I've got other things, but I could go on forever. I've been thoroughly enjoying creating at the moment, so it's yeah, it's really good fun and very relaxing. So I think that's everything. I am so happy to have been able to share with you what I've been making. I've missed you guys. It's been so wonderful to carry on connecting in with you on social media, on my design account, and also my Bex in Real Life account as well. I currently have a test knit starting for my Restful shawl. I think it's almost full. I may have one more space left, so if you'd like to be involved in the test knit of my Restful shawl, please do leave a comment below. It's a 2 skein 800 metre fingering weight shawl, and very intuitive design, really fun knit. I really enjoyed designing that one. So if you would like to be involved in that, do leave me a message and I'll see if there's any spaces left. It should be starting the next day or so. So I can't wait to get that design out to you guys as well. Until then, happy making. I hope you're enjoying the summer, the winter, wherever you are in the world. And yeah, I'll speak to you guys soon. Bye.